live and in color. How are y'all? Chris is coming around here, and we are going to start our virtual video that we do here every Thursday at Old North State Winery. We explore 4 wines here in person, and if you are lucky enough to sign up for the virtual, you'll get 2 bottles. And we've got two reds today, which are going to be a little bit on the more flavorful side, I would say. We're not going too dainty today, and we've been really enjoying. We've been all over the world here lately. It's been really great turnouts for Thursday nights, and we're really glad to see how many people are watching these videos and learning more about wine. Even if you've had some of these wines, it's always nice too to revisit them and maybe check out a new vintage, because that's the great thing about wine. Every year it changes.
Thank you.
Some change more than others, but it's a new day every vintage, so to speak. It's not like making Budweiser. It's the same recipe day after day after day. Wines are specific to a season or a vintage, and it really does change. Not only that, but the evolution in the bottle too when they age is a whole nother story. But you know me, I like to go deep into wines, but let's just keep it on the surface here for a little bit and talk about this first wine. Now we are going to start with a Syrah, and then we're going to move into a Syrah blend. But we're going to be in 2 different countries, and I really do think that even though the first one's a straight Syrah and the other one's a blend, I think you're really going to see this is a Syrah-dominated flavor profile, even though it's a blend, and you will see really the difference, I think, in how Syrah is, displayed, I guess, in terms of South Africa and Spain. So it's always fun to see the terroir issues or challenges or differences.
That has a remarkable amount of spice that I was not expecting.
That is lovely. So this is Excelsior. This is an incredible value. Yeah, it's always under $20. I'm sorry the glare there. I'm going to try to work around that. Just a straightforward, pretty easy bottle here to wrap your brain around. Not too many bells and whistles. The purpose of that little horse crest is this used to be a horse farm. Before they used to raise championship horses before they got into the wine, and they might do both. I don't know, but
I think
they preceded.
They do still. They're still in the horse game, but
right.
they moved it.
Right.
They thought it was be more productive for viticulture.
And as everybody knows, I do love to dabble in South African wines, and there's a great reason for that. There's always great value. If you can get something of this quality for under $20, I think you're winning. And well, Chef, you got your first taste there. What do you think?
Well, like I said, the spice on this is simply terrific. I was expecting a more sun-drenched style, and it's not. It's very dry and spicy and well balanced. But
it's
I mean,
fresh
this
fruit.
is fresh fruit.
Fresh fruit, yeah.
And from a sun-drenched area, really surprised the character. This is delicious.
And
I'm not surprised it's delicious from Andy in South Africa, or you wouldn't be serving it. I'm just like stylistically, I was expecting a different style. It's a treasure.
Yeah. So this is a real value, and oftentimes when you drink something that's price point, you lower your expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think when I first tried this, I thought, well, I expected it to be lighter. I didn't expect to have this kind of extraction. Of course, Syrah should be, it's a thick-skinned grape, and it should be quite muscular. That's why Côte Rôties, they'll put a little Viognier in their Syrahs to lighten them up, because they can be just so overbearing almost with their intensity, and that Viognier helps lighten them up. And so the varietal is known for being big, but oftentimes when you see it produced at a low price point, you're thinking, well, it's probably not the typical intensity, and you kind of set your standard, like, well, it's probably going to be a little bit fresher, cleaner. There are some Syrahs that I've had from like Santa Barbara that were fairly light,
Yeah, I could see
and that's kind of what I expected from this. But this I was dead wrong, and that's why I was really excited to share this with you, Chef. This is the kind of wine, we talk about those Tuesday night wines. But boy, you could serve this up against gigantic flavors.
Easily, and it would complement it, not run it over.
Yeah.
But it's going the spice on this is really going to open up a lot of opportunities. I wouldn't even be afraid of fish for this. I mean, you think about like a fatty salmon.
Yeah, absolutely salmon.
Or even like if you did
tuna, maybe.
Tuna, or
pepper.
Even like if you took a lighter fish or a shellfish, you did like scallops, but you introduce some like bacon or sausage to it.
Oh yeah.
Elevate it right up to where this would be right at home.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get some spicy.
Tuna would be great. That's a great call on that. The tuna would be delicious with this.
Well, you're
a little Niçoise.
Yeah.
A little tuna Niçoise with that.
Yeah, I mean this time of year we tend to eat lighter things, and Niçoise salad would be beautiful. Boy, I hated making those, but they're so classic. They're so great. As a producer of salads, I didn't like it. As a consumer of salads, I loved it.
I get excited when I see them. I think I had one at the Catherine because you just don't see it very often.
Yeah.
And you know that place would. Anyway, I see. I mean, it's a very simple salad, but for some reason, that combination is just nothing. It's like tomato basil. You know, I mean, there's some things that just belong together, and it's a reason. I guess there's a reason it's been around a couple hundred years, right?
I guess so. So you get the idea. We just rattled off all these things that can go with this wine, and so that should be a clue to you that you've got something that it doesn't have to sit on your shelf and wait for that one particular dish. This is something that is versatile. And I do believe, of course, Chef, when I went out and played some disc golf with our old friend Nick, and I was in
Did you keep score, by the way, or did y'all just goof around?
Well, Chef, I can't count that high.
Understood.
It was not pretty.
That's not usually something that's...
disc golf.
Disc golf and Chef Ed don't really go together.
I think I did it maybe when I was in my 20s, when we lived in Burlington, because they had that Cedar Rock Park.
People love that Cedar Rock Park.
The professional tour would stop. That was one of their stops. It was a serious disc golf, but I'm not a serious disc golf person, and I like to throw the disc into the woods a lot.
Well, a good day to be out in the woods.
But the good news is when you throw your disc into the woods, you find chanterelles.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, I got some beauties. One was as big as my palm.
No kidding. I guess the season's really kicking off in earnest.
We've had so much rain. It's great. But I was
rain and heat.
I was thinking chanterelles of this bad boy would be good, wouldn't
it? Yes. Mm-hmm. I've got Andre tomorrow is bringing those cauliflower mushrooms.
Oh yeah, I love those.
And the pluets and another variety, some oysters. So he's having a lot of success out there today.
Yeah.
Foraging.
I think it rains every day.
Every evening, late afternoon, we've been getting rain. I saw it was 0% yesterday, and I went outside last night. It was raining. I mean, it was like raining. I was like, I didn't even have time to put my ferns up.
Clay had come over because we're Jeepers, and neither one of us had our tops on. And we look out and it's pouring rain. We're both running out there scrambling to get the covers over our Jeeps. And whatever. That's just Jeep life.
It was so funny to see.
But there was 0 chance of rain.
I think they just don't even care anymore. They're just simply not doing a weather report. They're just like.
That's like.
they just gave up.
Like it's like if we didn't do our job. Like you come in and order food, and there's nothing on the plate. And Chris would be like, whatever. Or if I just put an empty glass in front of you. I just don't understand how these people get paid.
I mean...
By the way, I would never do that to you people.
Do something. Say something. Anyway, it was so funny to see Clay walk in here Tuesday morning looking like a lobster.
I've been riding around with the top
he's
off.
He's new to that Jeep life, had the top off, and you're having a great time. The wind's in your face. You don't even feel the sun.
The wind will burn you too.
You just don't feel the sun.
Yeah.
You think, it's a great day. It's nice and cool. I've made that mistake, not in a Jeep, but in lots of things. But it was cute. It's like, you're gonna learn.
This is lovely. What a treat. Well, we want to thank Excelsior, South Africa, Robertson Valley for hooking us up with that beauty. You're gonna love that wine, and you can buy it by the case because it's muy inexpensive. So,
our friend Kyle from Minglewood showed up today with an absolute bounty of heirloom tomatoes and eggplant. So I breaded up I salted and breaded up the eggplant. We're gonna do an eggplant parmesan with this.
Sweet.
And I'm stewing tomatoes now in olive oil and garlic, making a marinara out of those heirloom Cherokee purples. And got that fresh mozzarella from Ciano in Charlotte. It's gonna be a great combination.
Man, I haven't had that in a long time.
You know, that's on our bib salad, our tomato mozz bib. So it's great to have that around. But eggplant right now is really coming in beautifully. So we're, as always, eating with the season, and it's going to be a real treat.
All right, this one is sound as a pound.
That's a big old heavy bottle. We've had this producer before, right, Chip?
Oh yes, big time. And this is yet another great vintage Cabriola by Borsau. This is a beautiful blend. This is the 2017. I hope you can see that with the glare there. It's a beautiful kind of coppered look there on the label. Another great value wine from a premium area. But Borsau is right below Rioja, just kind of above where all of the great cavas are made in Catalonia. It's just kind of wedged between two of the most highly productive regions, but this one's rather small, and that's a good thing. So here we have a blend of Garnacha Syrah. So I was kind of alluding to that this was a blend, but most of us know that Garnacha brings lots of fruit. And Syrah brings a lot more, in my opinion, more intensity, more serious, structured wines. And Garnachas can be simple or kind of fruit dominant, which is not.
It's a blender.
It's great.
Fabulous.
I love it because you get contrasting styles here. On the nose, got that real funky kind of thing going on, which I love. Earthy, mushroomy, swampy.
Rust.
But on the palate, incredibly fresh, dense, practically jammy. I don't know if it's jammy, but right at it.
But still, the dusty tannins.
Oh yeah.
Even with all that big red fruit, it still has dusty tannins.
Well, the beauty of this is this has seen a lot of oaks. 12 months of French oak and American oak.
You can taste it.
So we talk about American oak in Rioja, which is, in my opinion, mandatory for this style, but there's a lot of them doing it with French oak now, which
Whatever.
I mean, okay, if you don't want to taste like Rioja anymore, but I mean, because I dig that I think that's one of the things I'm most attracted to, and we love the Coto Reservas and the Alberto. I mean, there's just there's so many delicious Riojas out there, and that. And
the El Coto whites too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
You talk about pound for pound, dollar for dollar.
That is what
you
delicious.
Can't beat them.
Yeah. When you get into the Reserva level and the Grand Reserva level, where all of that coconut and dill that comes out of the American oak, and here you have with the hybrid or the blend rather of French and American oak. It's really the best of both worlds. I dig this style.
It's not as pronounced, but the blending does really help give it a lot of unanticipated character. It does tone down the dill, but
right.
But it introduces that French licorice.
There's certainly vanilla French licorice. I think that there's for me, it's hints of coconut in there from the American oak, but like you said, I don't really pick up on any dill, and that might be because it's that's more for the Tempranillo. Maybe Tempranillo might be where the real dill shines, but irregardless, this is really, really pretty, and I love that that hybrid idea of French and American oak. Why not? More flavor. Why not?
Well, and keep trying. Keep trying new things. It's not like this is their only offering. Borsau, again, you talk about.
Remember that Trace Picos?
Well, I was getting ready to say. I mean, dollar for dollar again. Borisal puts out wine on the entire spectrum, but normally on the value side, and I don't mean value and cheap, I mean value dollar to quality.
Yeah.
So that they can afford to experiment, try some different things. It's not like it's their flagship offering. I mean, they have a large portfolio. So I mean, good on them that they're trying some different things. They decide they want to. I'm really getting a coconut now. They decided, because it's like let it sit. But if they decide they want to pull it back and be more traditional, they can. But hey, why not? Try it.
But the fruit really is just so intense in this, and the oak here just helps frame the fruit. It's not overpowering the fruit. The fruit is center stage, and for my palate, undeniable, dense fruit, just undeniable. fruit. But then with that vanilla and kind of undertones of coconut, just wow, the layers are just phenomenal, particularly for a value wine.
Leave it to the Spanish to give you this much character and depth in a wine that you could drink you can afford to drink on the sidewalk.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, leave it to them to give us something like that.
I was just looking because I can't remember
all those centuries of winemaking knowledge and all that trained soil and vine. It allows you to do things, and their property's paid for.
Oh, chef, I found it. I was thinking that this was high alcohol. It's 15 and a half.
Oh, is that why those legs are so pronounced?
Yeah.
It doesn't drink hot at all. I wouldn't guess. I mean, looking at the legs, you would say.
Yeah, it has a pretty good acidity to it. Right. So acidity oftentimes can hide alcohol for me, because you don't know if that burn is like alcohol or the acidity, the pH.
I wonder if it would have tasted different if we'd had this first instead of the Syrah. Maybe the Syrah prepped us for this, but this is not drinking hot. And normally when a real high alcohol, 16%, will mask a lot of nuance, but we're picking out the nuance in this, and so it's not masking any of that delicateness.
These are two very, big, bang for the buck, no doubt. I think anybody out there that likes big Zins, this would be right down your alley as well.
Absolutely.
Big cabs.
Petite Syrah Zin.
Petite Syrah,
You're going to love this.
You're going to love this. So Syrah is kind of our theme.
Wine, you're going to love this.
That's right. Absolutely. And you don't even have to worry about the price because it's so ridiculously cheap. And, these days...
You got enough to buy a case and then send us a few bottles. You wouldn't even miss it.
That's right. And, these days, everything costs more. It sure is nice finding some value. Yeah,
isn't that the truth?
Those tiers are just dragging along.
Yeah, they've got their own agenda. Mm-hmm. They're just dripping down at their own pace. And I love these new glasses, too, by the way.
Yeah, these are fun.
I think it sets the stage for that. But yeah, this is just absolutely terrific. Great wine, incredible value from our, Borisal, of course.
What do you think you want to throw at it?
Well, we're gonna have a kind of a picnicky kind of thing with this. We're gonna have that salumi from American Butcher, but it's the spreadable. It's the Nduja.
No, that's
Nduja, and so it's got a little spice, kind of like chorizo.
Yeah, but it's very Spanish in taste.
Very Spanish, and the texture is just awesome. It's very forgiving. A lot of times on the salumi, you got to cut it just right. And even then, it can be, handsy. The Nduja, just so easy to get on your flatbread or your cracker or whatever your taste is. Of course, I'm going to slide some of the sea salt crackers in with this tasting kit. But very forgiving, and it actually goes a long way too. A coin of this is really going to eat like 2 coins of salumi. But still, from our friends at American Butcher, where we continue to be the orange fennel, by the way, that news is wonderful. Their people there are really creative, and their quality continues to go up instead of maintaining it. They're on the rise. And we got that great Cumberland Tome, which is a raw cow's milk. This is from our friends at Saskatchewan Cove Creamery right there in Tennessee. We haven't been getting as much from them as usual. Thank you. As usual, everybody, even like even Sweetgrass, which is and Chapel Hill Creamery, they're both big time. They're having trouble with their Carolina Moon and Green Hill keeping up. So, production and issues with that is affecting everybody. And so we're thrilled to get in a new shipment from Saskatchewan Cove. And of course, we love the tone. We love the character of the raw cow's milk. It just really extends beyond some of the pasteurized things. So it's going to be delicious with this and that Nadulia.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, what a treat.
Be the kind of thing I think that's the kind of thing you and I do. Like when we get together, we put out cheese and salumi and crackers, and we drink wine and just gamble.
Yeah.
And watch baseball and play cards.
Yeah. That's a great way to live. So
it really is.
We do appreciate everybody's support of our wine program, and if there's ever wine that you need, I always forget to say this, but I can procure any wines you're looking for. So I have people that kind of come to me weekly or monthly and say, "Hey Ed, can you find this wine, or can you put together some wines that you think that I would like?" If that's something you'd like to do above and beyond our Thursday night tasting, I'd love to do that for you, and I can assure you that you'll get great value out of that. I always forget, because I know there's some people that take advantage of that, but maybe exactly every week. So maybe not everybody knows that I can certainly track down the things you're looking for.
And he enjoys it. So
Yep.
It's not a burden. This is something.
I love it.
He loves the challenge. He loves
Absolutely.
the search, and usually when you're looking for something, someone brings you end up finding other stuff too, and it's like, cool, I didn't know about this. So it helps everyone.
Absolutely. And of course, the chef's table, we've opened up some opportunities for that. Our lunch chef's table continues to grow. Chef,
yes, really pleased with that.
While you were down here getting ready, I took a phone call for 2 more. For the lunches are growing. Of course, we're offering the chef's table on Sunday night and Wednesday night, which has never really been something that we considered until we realized how intimate it is when we do it on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Absolutely.
And it's really, really nice to hold. The restaurant's closed, and you can have the full chef experience without distractions.
And it's really for both of us too. Ed has a lot of responsibilities on the floor on the weekends. So it's not just, it's really remarkable. We've done a few by request or for special occasions. It's worked out when we've done these when we're closed. And the ambiance, the feel of it completely different.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
It's wonderful. Neither one of us, not that we don't pamper and dote on everyone, but it does change the dynamic where there is nothing, no ambient noise, no one to check on. You don't have to look over your shoulder. We're just in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a thrill.
Yeah. And then we offer...
the noise. There's no noise from the bar.
Mm-hmm. There's no,
which restaurant. Is huge thing to take away.
No distractions. Yep. And then if you're dining in the restaurant on Fridays and Saturdays, we're offering a 5-course prefix meal with wine pairings, and people have been jumping all over that.
Tremendous value, tremendous creativity.
Little bit easier on the time. You can knock that out in under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours.
Yep.
You're talking 5 wines, 5 courses, easily under 2 hours, and you're sitting at the table. It feels like but you're not sacrificing anything. Ed's at the table with you. I visit for a couple of courses, but you're still getting all the great local seafood, all the local lake produce, the great meats, the creativity. You're getting it all, and you're getting the well thought out pairings from around the world, and just world-class service, only for half the price, half the time.
Yeah, it's only $100.
Can't beat it.
Chef's table's $180, so it's quite a nice little price reduction and time reduction. So we're trying to find more ways to meet our customers. We, making the chef's table even more exclusive because there's no one else in the restaurant, I think is going to just raise the value of that even more. And then, of course, for someone that doesn't want something so, involved, that 5-course is going to be great. And then for someone who doesn't have, just wants to have the 3-courser for lunch. I mean, I think we're covering everything now.
I don't think there's a hole in this, and we love the reaction we get from the lunch chef table, because you're talking about under an hour easy, but it's still elegant, refined, delicious wines, great food, and you still have the rest of your day. It's not this huge burden. I know as I've gotten older, my parents are like this too. I mean, we prefer a larger meal during the day and to snack at night. So that bigger one, we see it on Saturdays all the time, where people really eat their main meal between 1 and 5 rather than the big dinner. So we're hitting everybody's preference. The dining room, the lunch chef's table, the exclusivity of the big show. It's great.
Yep, and of course, keep in mind that we do all kinds of different catering things. We've got
family meals.
We have a big one coming up. That's going to be a chef table-like experience. So there's so many things that we can do for you. Just let us do it. We're happy to do it. And I guess just continue tuning in to taste wine with us. Again, 2 beauties: a Syrah from Excelsior, South Africa, and Borsal Syrah Garnacha blend. Both big boys, 14%, 15.5% alcohol, big flavors. I think you're going to be really pleased with both of these. And if you're here in person, all 4. And I've got a couple of nice little surprises for that too.
Always.
All right, Chef. We'll catch them next time.
Thank you, Chef. Thank y'all for your support. Thanks for tuning in. And we certainly look forward to seeing you soon.